She thinks, you know what? As soon as he sees it and he sits in it and he drives it, then he won't be mad at me anymore when I purchase this car behind his back. That was her philosophy on Friday.
Yeah, she's been looking for a new car for a while because her car is totally paid off, but it's become super unreliable. It's breaking down. She's been indecisive because what she wanted was more than what her husband and her had agreed on budget-wise. She can't find what she wants, and she doesn't want a car payment on a car that doesn't make her happy. Well, her car finally bit the dust, and her husband was out of town, so instead of waiting for him to come home so they could car shop together over the weekend, she just went out and bought herself that new car. But the thing is, it is twice the amount they agreed on spending, 2 times. So she wasn't going to tell her husband and was just hoping, like you said, Bert, that when he saw it or drove it, he'd see that it was totally worth it. And that's where we left it.
So Kristin, Cassie, and Davi, let me ask you this question. What is the number, the financial number that you would be spending that you would have to run by Bart? Like there's a piece of jewelry or a car or clothes. What is that threshold where you're like, you know what, I better check in with my husband on this one?
Well, I mean, it's for both of us. Well, mine is stuff like, because the dogs, we have 3 of them, and when like twice a year you get all their meds, that vet bill is like through the roof. So stuff like that, you're just, to expect. But
this is just for you, let's say.
Just for us. See, we're not extravagant spenders. I'd say anything over 200.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Same. For me, if it's 200 and even below that, if it approaches 150, like I just give him a heads up, like, hey, I'm gonna buy this. It's 150.
Wow. I am spending a lot of money that my husband doesn't know about.
200 or 250?
Yeah, because it'll be something like, hey, I need some. Well, because I told him I needed new clothing because I don't fit into anything I wear. So I'm like, I'm going shopping at Nordstrom Rack and Old Navy. I'm gonna drop a little bit, and so it ended up being like around $200, $300.
Look at Davi's face.
I'm just like sweating now because I'm like, if that's the number that he expects me to converse with him, I have a lot of secrets.
Well, no, each couple's different.
Right.
I expect
I know.
him to think that.
What's his number, by the way? What would his number be?
It's the same for both of us, yeah.
200?
That is insane.
Chad
I'd be calling Tiffany every day.
Chad tells me if he's going to spend over $70. He's like, by the way, this is $70. Is that okay? And I'm like, you don't need to run it by me. It's fine. We don't expect it. It's just kind of a courtesy. Like, hey, this is some. And then it allows them to be like, well, don't forget, we have, like Kristin said, that big dog bill coming in. And then you'll be like, oh, I forgot about that.
I literally bought some jewelry. And at my stand-up show, Blair was like, where'd you get that? How much was it? I was like, it's none of your damn business. That's where I got it and how much it was. And we never talked about it again. And I'm like, this is blowing my mind.
So I've been like thirsty to buy that tonal for a long time. Have you seen that thing?
The workout thingy?
That workout thingy, it's like a mirror that goes up on your wall. It's all digital weights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's $4,000. So I'm running that one by Tiffany.
That would be a definite. But yeah, we don't, in all sincerity, we don't do it often because, like I said, we're not big spenders. And when we do spend on something, it's a trip and we're inputting together, so we don't have to run it because we know that the purchase, like a Airbnb or a VRBO, that we're planning the trip together. So there's just no, in all sincerity, like I went to Home Goods yesterday, but I only dropped $80, so I didn't run that by the hubby.
I'd be like,
Night and day.
yeah, man. Every couple of hours you'd be getting a tip.
What are you buying every day that's over $200?
Look, if I'm on Instagram and I see something, man, I'm probably just like purchasing it. Like if it looks really good, like I already know because 90% of the stuff I buy on Instagram sucks.
Yeah.
But I'm still getting it.
But it's like
it looks so good in the commercials.
What I need to know, I need examples of what you're buying every day that cost over $200.
I feel guilty buying anything over I can't remember when I bought myself a piece of jewelry. Like I have so much guilt. I'm like, I don't really need this, but you know what I do need? Uber Eats every day, and that's where all my money goes.
All right, let's say I go to a Nike outlet with Hollis. He needs some new shoes. Daddy needs some new shoes too.
Okay.
Daddy probably needs 2 pairs of new shoes.
Yes, sir.
And it's going to be probably over $200 because then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get some sweats. I'm going to get a hoodie. I don't check on that. That's going to be over $200.
That's your money.
I don't check. No, I'm not saying can I. It's just saying like, hey, I spent this.
You good with this? No.
Nah. She'll see those boxes lined up.
I had like $250 in
thanks.
Yankee candles. Just candles.
Like I just bought all my money. What new moms get it? Like you no longer spend money on you; everything gets spent on the kid. So yeah, I just bought Jimmy not one, not two, but 3 Halloween costumes. But Halloween it didn't come anywhere near $200.
Hey, Maggie, good morning. You're on the Bert Show. Hi.
What the hell are you people buying? I'm so intrigued.
It's not every day, that's for sure. But I mean, $200, I'll do that a couple of times a week.
Even a couple of times a week. What are you buying?
Mine's like once a month, if that,
I'll
maybe.
tell you what, let me check the category. Whatever the hell I want.
And that is totally fine.
I worked hard.
I get it. No, I am not coming down on you. I'm just intrigued at what you're getting.
Hey, Maggie, good morning. You're on the Bert. You know what? I'm more nervous at checking with telling Amy, my business manager, what I'm spending than I am
Yes,
Tiffany.
as you should.
Amy's yelling at you right now.
Yes. Maggie, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hey,
so
what's up?
my mom has bought 3 cars without my dad knowing.
3?
Wow.
3 cars.
Where'd
He
she hide them?
And she would wait until he was out of town.
Of course.
And then all of a sudden he would come home to a brand new car. And
Man,
the
probably was scared to
third
leave.
One was like, okay, we need to have a talk because this is a problem.
The third one.
The third one, right?
Not the first one.
And the first one.
Not the second one.
Baseball rules.
That's a
Third
great way
strike.
for him never to agree to go out on out of town on a business trip.
Facts.
Yeah, for real. So now he gets anxious every time he goes out of town.
No doubt.
So it's like, is there going to be a new car in the driveway?
Right. Here's Grace. Good morning. You are on the Bert. We haven't even got to the email yet. Hey, Grace. Good morning.
I agree. So my dad, Davi will like this. He 420s, so he'll go to Amazon and he'll just start buying whatever.
Yes.
And like his girlfriend is just getting upset. He says it's like Christmas.
Yes.
He's 420 so much he forgets what he buys. And then he's like, oh.
It's like you have a secret admirer, and then like $400 in clothes shows up on my doorstep.
now-
I'm like, uh-oh.
I have done
He
this
gets things
exact.
like crossbows.
I have done this exactly what you're talking about.
Crossbows?
But then I get too lazy to actually pull the trigger on anything that I'm purchasing.
So you put it
Really?
in your cart, but you never actually go and buy it.
Right.
It just sits in your cart.
No
So-
I
regrets.
do that a lot
Well,
too.
what a Christmas idea.
Yep.
So your dad is a stoner hunter?
He doesn't even use the crossbow. He just wanted it.
Oh my god.
Just wanted it. He's like, one of these days I'm going to take that up. I'm going to need it.
Kaylee, you want in on this?
No,
offense.
no, you don't, because you go buying all kinds of crap behind your wife's back.
Well,
Yes.
yes, I do. You know, tuk-tuk, doom buggy, stuff like that, you know. But when I was redoing the backyard, I was trying to figure out how I was going to do the outside surround sound system. And I purchased it because I got a great deal.
You always
And
do.
I hid it in my vocal booth in my office because she would never go in my voice booth. And then when I had the electrician come and we were talking about wiring it up, she's like, you don't have a sound system for the back? I'm like, yeah, I do. Remember I told you? I bought it. And she's like, let me see this thing. And so I had to show her. And I mean, it was like $1,400.
Kristen, you'd have to check in with Bart 7 times.
Kristen, it was
like that.
$3,000 originally. I got it for $1,400.
You did that math
It's
so
so
fast, Bert.
It's,
That was
it's
impressive.
It's 7s. I know touchdown.
Let's clarify. 1,400 would need to be a consensus within the couple. Like checking it, I don't tell him, "Hey, do I have permission to spend
Right.
$200
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
clothing?"
You're just checking in.
That's not how it goes. It'd be like, "Yo, I'm going out. I'm about to drop $200 or more on clothing." Let's just clarify.
Yeah.
Hey, Tiffany, good morning. You're part of the Bert Show.
Or not.
Come on, spill.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, what'd you do?
Okay, great. Well, we buy horses without our husbands knowing.
Bought
Me
horses.
and a couple of our friends. our motto is if they're to ask for forgiveness and permission. And
And a lot of times, if we buy the same color that we already have out there and throw them out there, the husbands don't notice for a long time anyway.
They can't tell the horses apart. They're like, are the horses multiplying?
Mad horses.
Yeah, they're like, is that a different one? Nope.
No. Did you put water on it and it's like a gremlin?
It's like gremlins. They multiply at midnight, right?
How much does a horse run these days?
Well, the most I've ever done is 6,000, but I have friends that have spent up to 20.
20,000 and not
Yo.
checked in with the hubby on it.
And then you have to feed them, and then you have to scoop
Horses
their big
ain't
poops.
cheap.
No,
They're
man.
not cheap.
Damn.
My problem is, sure, you might not notice there's a new horse out in the stable, but don't you notice the $6,000 hole in your bank account?
I guess if you
No,
can't notice a
Probably
horse.
not. Right? At least we're talking about just 1 horsepower.
Yeah.
All right, so the email, how did this guy react when he comes home and she's got a brand new car? Mo, you got the email.
Bert Show. As expected, my husband came home and was pissed. I can't help but be annoyed. Even though it was 2 times the cost that he thought we should spend, it is actually still less expensive than his car. I didn't hesitate at all when we purchased his. I knew it was what he wanted. Why should he get a nicer car and I have to settle for something, quote unquote, affordable? Because his car payment is so much? He says it's because he has a job and needs to look professional while I am a stay-at-home mom. This makes me even more furious. I'm the one driving kids around all week long. I spend more time in the car than he does. Why don't I get to enjoy what I'm spending so much time in? He also says that I shouldn't have something nice because the kids are just going to destroy it. So basically, because I'm staying home with the children like he wanted me to, I don't deserve to have a nice car. I know you all said that I need to find a way to cut money in other areas to make up the difference. No. I think he needs to find ways to cut expenses. Maybe he can get a cheaper car so we can afford mine.
They both have good points. They
Yes.
just should have been discussed before she got the car.
100%.
All right, that's all fine, dandy. I have a homework assignment for everybody on the Bert Show
No.
for the entire week.
No.
We're going to do a spending diary. So every day that you buy something over $200, you have to write it down.
Oh my God, Amy is so happy right now. She's been trying to institute this homework assignment now since I hired her. Okay, anything over 200.
Over $200.
Okay.
Say less.
Because I am intrigued.
Okay. All right. Starting today.
Starting today.
Okay.
The Bert Show.